Yeah.
All right. Hello, folks. Here we are live. It's Fandango Friday. I'm in Louisiana, and that weird carnival face is in New Jersey, and we're going to be launched right now with Fandango Friday.
Yes, it is Fandango Friday. And speaking of the weird carnival face, Ronald, remember when people actually had hairstyles like that where they parted it in the middle
Yes.
with a bunch of greasy friggin' pomade, whatever the hell they used?
Yep.
Brill cream, a little dab will do you.
I've seen those.
Yeah, when I was a kid, there was a commercial for Brill cream.
But most of those hairstyles I saw in old movies from 90 years ago.
Part of my grandmother used to say they look like somebody split them with an axe right down the middle.
Yeah, not the best look. Okay, now
Yeah.
I have something I bought in this town in Louisiana. Oh, yeah, James is getting over an illness, y'all.
Well, I'm almost. It's
Yeah.
almost kaput. Knock on wood. I always wondered why women wore petticoats in the heat of summer, and they're fanning themselves on the front porch. Where's my mint julep?
It's a good question. So talking about that, I'll do a bigger screen moment. Talking about that, I was in this town and I saw this in a store called Big River convenience store, and I said, I don't know what this is, but they had it. I saw the tag was $179 for a 200 milliliter bottle, but I went and checked at the register. I said, "Is this price correct?" And the lady said, "Oh no, baby, it's $239." I said, "Yeah, prices never match at these stores, you know." So I said, "All right, I'll get it." And then she went over there. The other lady went over there and said, "It ain't the right tag." My point, I said, "Yeah, well, it should be by the right tag." But I wasn't gonna argue with them. But anyway, this is called Firefly.
Firefly, sweet tea lemonade. It was spiked, of course.
Sweet tea lemonade. It's a sweet tea flavored vodka with lemonade and caramel color. And the company I was reading started about 13 years ago it's in North Charleston, South Carolina, by two guys started it. Their signatures on the back here. That's not important right now. But one was a lawyer, one was a chemist, and they started a distillery that was really kind of like in a shed. And then it got big, and Charleston's like a tourist town. So then it was a big old distillery, and they started making different flavors, not just regular vodka. Now they're making rum and this and that. So I came back and I looked on the search engine, and the Big River is the only store in this whole town that sells it. So I figured, well, I guess I lucked out, just stumbled across it. So we'll do a screen share in a little bit. So it's Firefly. It's the alcohol level is 12.5%. I'll pop it open and pour it.
Yeah, well, I assume Big River stands for Mississippi.
I think that's those Big River stores. I think that's what they're probably all along the Mississippi River. So it looks like tea, and it's natural flavor. So
it's exactly like tea.
Let me think for a minute. Okay, let me go to the banners. I'm gonna go back to the full screen for a little bit. Let's go to the banners, and I'm gonna type it in. I drank some of it from our solo review. Let's see, sweet Firefly sweet tea, 12.5%. And yours is Barcelo. And I'm going to let you show it and all of that, but I just want to get into the banners in case people are wondering.
Barcelo Dominican rum. No, yeah, Barcelo Dorado.
Dorado. That means gold.
It's 40% alcohol. It says here añejado, which is like probably another Spanish word for añejo, aged, or whatever. It's not really it's not an old aged rum, but I don't know why they're using that.
Well, we'll try to look that up. Okay,
yeah. We'll take a look.
Let's see what comments we have.
Oh, thank you, Jason. I got them all cut. I felt like I lost 10 pounds. He's dehydrated, or you need pure water, not booze.
Yeah, drink water. All right. Hey guys. Well, that sounds like a good idea, Jean-Pierre. I had a chili relleno stuffed with cheese today and a chili relleno stuffed with beef.
Hitting the pillow after. Oh yeah, it does feel cool when you get in bed. When your head hits the pillow, you're right. I like a chilly bed. The colder, the better to sleep.
Yeah, I sleep better in the winter. All right. When I went to Arkansas and Oklahoma, yesterday, the temperature was 100 and. But really? The humidity, yeah, it was hot, but the humidity wasn't as bad as down here, so it didn't really feel. It felt hot, but when I was walking on those hiking trails in the Ouachita National Forest, and my friend Paul said the Oklahomans pronounce it Ouachita, the Ouachita National Forest.
I wonder how pronounced Wichita, Kansas. They have their own pronunciation of that.
Yeah, it's interesting. But it was a long trail, but that was a very interesting mountainous experience, and it's about 6 hours from here to Texarkana. And Texarkana is where you start getting in. North of that, it starts getting hilly. And that's a strange town, too, because there's a street runs to the middle of the town, and one side of the street is Texas, and the other side is Arkansas.
Yeah, we have a street like that in the town of Lodi, where it's split right down the middle. One half is Garfield, New Jersey, the other half is Lodi. But that's even more bizarre.
More bizarre because it's Texas on one side of the street and Arkansas on the other. So it's very strange.
So if something happens on the Arkansas side, then the Texas state trooper will say, it's not our jurisdiction.
Right.
I say it's not our jurisdiction. Or whatever.
And vice versa.
Vice versa.
Now I'm going to do a screen share. It was an interesting experience, and I had some interesting Chinese food on the Arkansas side. Directly across, and guess what was directly across the street on the Texas side?
Popeyes. Church's Chicken.
Another Chinese restaurant.
Oh, another
Chinese restaurant. They were across the street from each other.
Well, I hope you had a weapon with you, because there's a lot of predatory varmints up there.
Yeah. Well, in the Chinese culture, it's not considered polite to open a Chinese restaurant too close to another one. But this way, they can't accuse the other one. Could say, "What are you talking about? I didn't come into your area. I'm in another state."
Yeah. By the way, how come your General Tso's chicken is $1 more than that guy's General Tso's chicken? And then he could say, "Well, so what? General Tso.
I don't live. Yeah, I don't live in Texas. So what? I don't know what their prices are way over in Texas, across the street. All right, now, why are you telling me about a different state? You eat at this Chinese restaurant. When I got to the
You,
Chinese restaurant,
yes, you eat at this Chinese restaurant. He killed cat. He served a chow bow wow and a chow meow. You eat it here.
actually, a lady, there was a Chinese restaurant in Kenner, Louisiana, that got busted and they shut down because they were catching birds and using them.
So
That's the truth.
there were stir flying like grackles and blue jays or whatever.
Yeah, or whatever, blackbirds or something. Anyway, here's the website for Firefly, and they're showing somebody drinking out of a a mason jar, and
Yeah.
our little hometown distillery. I'm not gonna read all the violin, but they make vodka in a small still in South Carolina, and just remember, it ain't your grandma's sweet tea, and they got flavored vodkas here, all different flavors, of course.
Yeah.
They've got moonshine, all different flavors of moonshine.
Oh wow.
And I'm not going to show all that. And then let's see. There's also what I have.
Yeah, I don't think it's a little itty bitty still anymore.
No.
Is that it?
They make rum now. They have Firefly rum. I'm trying to find all their products. I'm not going to belabor. We go. They got the original sweet vodka, but that's the original sweet tea vodka. That's 40 proof. I've got 12.5%. Okay, I've already signed in on the date. Damn it. All right. I've got the lemonade concoction. Here's their other flavors: ruby red, grapefruit. I have that. No, I have pink lemonade. There's their straight vodka. They make a straight vodka. You can see right there, just a regular old vodka. Here's all the different moonshines: apple pie, blackberry, caramel, strawberry moonshine.
Ooh, you got a blueberry?
White lightning. That's the original.
I've had Midnight. Was it Midnight Moon? Owned by a famous race car driver. I think it was blueberry. I had blueberry moonshine. It was really good.
Here's their blueberry. They got bourbon ball whiskey, sweet tea whiskey. Then there's their Sea Island rum series. Sea Island. It's made in South Carolina too. It's not from the islands. It's from Charleston, South Carolina. And they've got these Southern accents liqueurs, which I've not ever seen. Well, here's what I've got today. I've got the pink lemonade and the sweet tea lemonade. So let's go to the sweet tea for this stuff gets too warm here in my hand.
Bermuda is really off of the Carolinas. Bermuda. But there we go.
Yeah, that's right. Way out in Atlanta. Blends their original sweet tea vodka with the taste of fresh squeezed lemonade made with real lemon juice. Firefly sweet tea lemonade blends our original. Okay, they're repeating it twice. They need to work on their website. They wrote it twice. Anyway, there it is. But it was kind of like what you were saying. Whoops. My screen share. But I stopped it. When you do screen share, you can't show your own screen. You'll be like, okay.
Like a Cordine.
Yeah.
I also call it an accordion.
It is like an accordion.
Just Jethro Bodine. I graduated the 5th grade.
And his sister was born in Baton Rouge.
Ellie Mae? I mean, the actress. Yeah.
Donna Douglas was from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I'm issue reviewing food with beer pairings. Also doing. I would like to do more of that, but I never seem to get to it.
You know how much preparation probably would have to go into a liquor review and a food review with the preparation of that, and it gets
a little tough.
Old Crow bourbon.
I like Old Crow and I like Heineken. So there you go.
Oh, is Island of Fire from the Hawaiian Islands? Is there an island near him?
Maybe.
Hey, Masumi. Good morning to you, Masumi. It is now 7:50 a.m. Saturday in Tokyo. So good morning to you. Yeah, Island of Fire. Is he in Hawaii or is there? I hope he's not like in like Omaha, Nebraska, and there's no island around there.
Well, there might be a little one. All right, an islet. Now I'm going to give the review, but I'm going to tell you something in a minute after this. So
Okay. Oh,
it smells a little bit like tea. There's not a whole lot of aroma going on here. Cheers.
cheers.
The flavor. Well, it got a little too warm, but I need an ice cube, but I'm not going to stress out over it. I have some ice cubes in the fridge. It's very sweet. And Southern sweet tea is extremely sweet. And my friend David was like, haven't you ever had sweet tea? I said, yeah, Wendy's. And he laughed. Wendy's, well, they make it over there too. And it's sweet. Like it's so loaded with cane sugar. It's like, now my friend said a lot of those bags of sugar you buy at the store is actually made from beet sugar.
Sugar beets. You know, a real Southern sweet tea, if it's really that sweet, you know what that's perfect for? Brewing your own kombucha at home.
Oh. So
Perfect.
you can taste the lemon juice. You can taste the tea.
Right.
You can't taste the vodka because vodka is supposed to have no flavor or aroma. So I don't know why people spend a fortune for vodka when it's got no flavor and aroma. But whatever, you know. I know there's more to it. It's the body's kind of light and the finish is sweet. So everything about this thing is sweet. I don't see how anybody could drink too much of this. It's just too darn sweet. It wasn't a bad value for the price. You know, you get 200 milliliters. Usually I get the little 50 milliliter bottles, but this was 4 times that. I checked the big size bottles. They were the same price per ounce. You know, I checked online. So, yeah. Would I buy it again? Well, no, because I don't drink liqueurs anyway. I just do them for these video hangouts. I don't drink them just to be drinking them, but they're interesting to look at, you know, on a one-time basis.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like when I had shoe fly pie and pecan pie. They're nauseatingly sweet. Can't eat them.
Pecan pie is just like,
yes,
you know, you can't.
Extremely.
You can eat a little piece. You can eat a little piece, but I don't know how people just eat that. Like,
now I like key lime. I'm a key lime pie fan.
Oh yeah, me too. Okay, I like it a lot, and I'm going to give it a high score, even though I'll never drink it again in my life. But I'll tell you real fast because I know you're waiting.
Sure.
I was thinking like you were thinking, like, how can they produce all this stuff in this little family-owned down-home distillery? Here's your answer, by the way.
You live on a peninsula. I did, in fact, actually live in Hawaii for 8 years, but I left 6 years ago. I just never changed my YouTube. Okay, you're on a peninsula. The peninsulas come in different sizes. I know about Florida and Baja, but I'm sure there are many others. Yes.
Yeah, Old Crow's worth getting.
Thank you, David.
Now, start looking on their website, and they were saying all the products we make at our distillery are sold in South Carolina. So I know I don't live in South Carolina. And then it went on. Any of our products sold outside of the state are made by our sister distilleries in Kentucky. I said, wait a minute.
What? Uh-oh, here we go. Here we go. The old geezer, the power-hungry old geezer is at it again.
I said, something's got me suspicious, you know. So they're telling me, but it just said fire. You know, I checked their privacy notification, their disclosure. It just said firefly spirits. So, you know, so hold on a minute. Let me check something here real fast.
I think I'm gonna end up singing the famous James Bond song, depending on what your discovery is.
I'm almost ready. Hold on. So, all I gotta do now is go back to screen share. We're gonna go back to the comments too. Don't worry, folks. So I looked up this company, clicked on their website, and look what I find.
Goldfinger, the man with the golden touch. He controls everything. Wow, how about that?
I said, well, what do you know? So turns out the bottles I have are produced in Owensboro, Kentucky by the Glenmore Distillery, and Glenmore is owned by Mr. and Mrs. William Goldring, who bought Glenmore Distillery some years ago.
I wonder if William Goldring dresses like Boss Hogg in that white outfit. Oh, you're on a peninsula, on one of the Great Lakes. Oh, the Lower Peninsula. Oh yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah, or is that Lake Huron? I know Lake Huron's on the east.
Yeah, I've been to the upper and the lower.
I think the name Detroit is a French word that means straits. I believe it's the connection, the water connection between Lake Erie and Lake Huron. I believe that is the
and when Detroit was founded by the French as a fort back in the 1700s, I think the first governor of that territory up there was named Cadillac. I'm pretty sure it was
wow.
He was French.
Pontiac is a Native American name from up there too. Pontiac. Pontiac. I think he was.
Pontiac. Oh yeah, Chief Pontiac. Yeah, he led an uprising against the Americans.
Chevrolet. No, that was a French, a famous French race car driver. His last name was Chevrolet.
But Cadillac was a French governor. Cadillac. Okay.
Interesting.
Anyway. Anyhow.
That's mine. Yeah, go ahead.
That's mine. I'm gonna bring in the lemonade.
Lemonade.
I'm gonna bring in the pink lemonade in a little bit. But now James is going to showcase a rum that I need to get to, but I never get around to it because I got so much of a backlog. It's unreal.
Like the Straits of Magellan separating the Atlantic Ocean from the Mediterranean. You know,
Pacific.
Also, no. Well, no. I'm talking about by Spain. The Pillars of Hercules. There's the
rock. You said Straits of Magellan.
I'm sorry, I made a mistake. The rocket Gibraltar is not the Straits of Magellan. You're right. But it's a strait.
Yeah, Gibraltar guards Europe, and there's a peninsula at the bottom that guards Africa, and the strait goes through connecting the Atlantic to the Mediterranean.
And the British still control Gibraltar, right?
And they took it from Spain in a war in the year 1700, and they said they're not giving it back.
Not giving it back. Yeah, because they're pissed off that they lost their empire. So they're hanging on for dear life there, whatever.
whatever's left. And Spain owns the other peninsula in Morocco, Spanish Morocco.
Really?
It's called Ceuta. If you look it up, it's a Spanish city that they've owned since the Crusades, but they won't give it back to Morocco. They say, well, you lost it in a war, so we're keeping it. There's only 2 European territories on African mainland today. The Europeans gave all their colonies away, but Spain still owns Ceuta and Melilla, and they won't give it back.
And the word Morocco probably stands for the Moors, Hannibal.
That's right, the Moors.
North African Empire, led by Hannibal, who fought with the Romans. Anyway, enjoy the decline.
And the Moors had a lot. Hey, and the Moors had a lot, but now they have less. It was more and now less.
First they had more, then after Rome, they had less. And now they have even lesser.
Right.
Then, yeah. And I think it was a French colony at one time, right? Like Marrakesh, Casablanca, and all those. That whole...
Until 1956.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll wait until hard liquor, Lake Huron flows into St. Clair River, then St. Clair River, then Detroit River, and Lake Erie. Detroit River. So Detroit River. Detroit River and St. Clair River is part of what the French named Detroit after. It's a straits. So if you went from Lake Erie and you entered that river and kept traveling, you will end up in Lake Huron.
Yeah, it takes the rivers connect the lakes, and then eventually it goes out into the Atlantic Ocean.
Well, to go to the Atlantic Ocean, you have to go from Lake Erie to Lake Ontario, and then from Lake Ontario to the St. Lawrence River. St. Lawrence Seaway becomes St. Lawrence Seaway near, past Montreal, and then I think, near the Maritime provinces, probably.
Correct. Well, JR, I'm not against vodka, but it's just a matter of I don't have time to do everything. I gotta just choose. But now James is he's trying to show us this thing, and we keep interrupting him, and that's not right.
Now, if he was, if the corporation Google, who owns YouTube, was showering Ronald with several $100,000 a month, then Ronald could take the time to do every little nitpicky little form of booze. But he has a life.
At the time, even if I had the money, it was done. Yeah, but right, I still would not have the time. I might have the money, but I wouldn't have the time.
Not the time. It's like you got the money, the girls got the time, or some kind of Mae West mumbo jumbo. Anyway, Barcelo Dominican rum, Dorado, Añejo or Añejado. Let me go to the website. Now, 40% alcohol, a touch of gold for your combinations. Naturally aged for up to 2 years. They don't know for sure. The result is a rum blend. Okay, now I'm getting a little inquisitive here. A rum blend that is ideal for the preparation of the best cocktails. A mild rum, which it is, with an exquisite taste and an amber color, natural aging in American oak barrels that previously contained bourbon. So they could have just said bourbon barrels.
I see they had trouble translating it. They said barriques.
Yeah, I know. I didn't. Barrique. Okay, intense gold amber color fragrances of butter with caramelized nuts. Here we go. Wood and fruit cake characterized by a toasted flavor with a light and delicate note of wood and a hint of spices.
Wow,
including
boy,
fruitcake. Oh my God. Well, anyway, let me go to where I can see everybody. And I have a feeling, since it is not, well, it was on sale, so I guess
Yeah,
now.
let's look at their other ones for a moment. Have you had any of
Okay,
these others?
yes, I have. I had the dark. I had the dark, and I had the añejo, not the grand añejo, but the better Barcelos are outstanding. Okay, and this one for it being on sale for $12
Wow.
is not bad, really. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna drink it and say, oh, what a cheap rum. No wonder why it was on sale. No, no, it's actually good. All right, let me give the baby some FaceTime. All right. After you're seriously involved with a woman, they start to sound that way. That's all you hear is either blah 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 or yada yada or whack, wah wah wah. Okay. Oh yeah, I can imagine. Okay, that's a big change going from Hawaii to Michigan.
Boy, is it, especially with the weather.
Oh yeah. Saint Frulian glass chalice. I bet the Holy Grail was a simple stone cup. I don't think it was what Hollywood made it out to be. In this big gold chalice with jewels around it. It was probably very simple. All right. It is very light. It's so light, I can't pick up any aroma. It's not. It does. I do get the smokiness from the wood. I do get the caramel flavor. I don't know what they're talking about when they mention butter. I don't get butter. I don't get cream cheese. I don't get any of that. I don't get fruit cake. I think they've been drinking too much Barcelo, and the fruit cake isn't. Yeah, they're just. Oh, so you were. Oh, 29 years. Oh, so you're from Michigan, and then you ended up in Hawaii for 8 years. But you probably was like felt like you were in paradise or something compared to being in the north in the I mean, it's not like Florida where it's like a steam bath, Hawaii, yeah, Hawaii has like trade winds. It's refreshing. I used to talk to people who lived high up in Hawaii, and they said we don't even have the air conditioner on in the summer. We got breeze, so it's not like where Florida is, where you're dying just to be outside. So I don't know.
When I went to Key West, Florida, I noticed that you could get away without air conditioning down there because there's so much cross breeze from the Atlantic going to the Gulf of Mexico that.
Oh yeah, you got the Gulf on one side, which is not really that far of a drive, really. They talk to the Atlantic side, and then south of that is the
90 miles south of the Caribbean with Cuba. So
yeah, what do they call the Straits of Florida? What do they call that again? The waterway between Cuba and Florida. It's not the Gulf.
The Florida Straits.
The Florida Straits. Yeah, but you got to be careful when you go off Fort Lauderdale coast, Palm Beach, going towards Bahama, because the Bermuda Triangle, the south part is right about there. You don't want your boat to go through like a time warp.
Right. Then you come back later, and then when the aliens come back and they communicate through music, that you'll be you'll be on the ship, but you won't have aged.
You won't have age. Well, as long as you don't like appear during the Jurassic or Mesozoic period, have some T-Rex chasing your ass, and then you, mommy. So anyway,
Right.
it's very mild. It's ideal for mixed drinks of all kinds, except the really good like Mai Tais and whatever. I mean, the really rich tropical drinks that you want to use a better rum for. uh, as long as there's an umbrella sticking out of a piece of fresh pineapple, you need a better rum. Oh yeah, the elevations, it's amazing. Well, in South America, if you go to Quito, Ecuador, okay, Quito, Ecuador is right on the equator, but the weather up there, because of the elevations of the Andes Mountains, it's like autumn all year round. Same thing with Bogota, Colombia. It's elevated, but then when you go down to the coast in Ecuador, Guayaquil, where they have a lot of shrimp farms, it's hot. It's very hot. Okay, so you got elevation. So I believe that with Hawaii. So anyway, great for mixed drinks. Too weak for me. I don't get butter. I don't get fruitcake. I don't get any of the other things they mentioned, but I do get this the smokiness of the uh, bourbon barrel and the caramel. It is smooth. It's not a bad rum. Um, I have no complaints about it, considering the price. Now, if it was real cheap, oh yeah, it's very fresh. Now you just reminded me. I got to get more organic coconut water. I buy the pure, not from concentrate. The no sugar, just pure, straight organic coconut water. Keep it in the refrigerator. Make it ice cold, and it's better than any sports drink. So, uh, it's not bad. I mean, I've had something that was dirt cheap that was absolutely a nightmare, and Ronald knows it. That peanut butter whiskey
Oh yes,
from California, from Southern
San Diego.
California, San Diego. Yeah, no, 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 no. Even if you gave it to me for free, I wouldn't even go near it. But anyway, it's a good rum because it's from a good company. I brought the Barcelo rums on Ronald's show in the past, but I brought the dark añejo, and I brought the good ones.
Right, but you would have to be a screwball if you think James is going to drink that screwball.
Yeah, that was the name, and it was spelled with the SK, I think, SKR or something. Hey, Kevin. So that's what I get from it. I don't know what kind of taste buds these people have that get all this. I do get a tiny hint of a cinnamon flavor, but it could be my tongue detecting things that are not really there, because there is no cinnamon in here. It's like somebody saying, "Oh, I taste nuts. I taste almonds. I taste spices." Well,
We're going to come back. We're going to come back to you for your score. Well, I'm sorry you're a little disappointed in it, but
well, I like it for what it is.
yeah,
I don't dislike it. I don't dislike it, but it's not my kind of rum.
Yeah,
It's good. I mean, if you want to make mixed drinks, or like me, I put any rum in coffee. I mean, I put Kraken, you know, and I put Blackstrap
Oh
rum.
yeah, I'd like to try that myself. Now, before I give my scores,
Yeah.
people of the world, I have another one from Firefly, and this is the pink lemonade.
Ooh. It's like a flamingo in a bottle.
And it contains lemonade flavored vodka with natural ruby red grapefruit flavor and certified color, 12.5%. So they have lemonade, grapefruit flavoring, uh, and vodka. Okay. And it's not really that color. They add food color into it. What do you think? All right. Made
Yeah.
by some down home folks in South Carolina.
I'd never seen
But it's really tasty.
grapefruits, even pink grapefruits, that shade of pink.
Yeah. Wow.
Like almost magenta.
There it is. Okay, now let's smell. Well, smells like lemonade and maybe a little grapefruit. Cheers, taste. This one's nicer because I had it in the freezer and the tea got too warm in my hands. But golly gee, it's as sugary as heck. If you don't like a lot of sugar, woo! I don't like a lot of sugar actually. I mean, I like sweets, but this is beyond the pale of any acceptable form of human behavior.
So they're both equally sweet.
It's almost like you have a seizure when you're drinking it. It's so sweet.
Yeah, diabetics would end up in the hospital, I bet.
But I know Americans love sugar intake. They just love sugar this, sugar that, sugar everything.
Well, especially when you look at the obesity epidemic in this country.
I don't know how people, but as bad as all that is, I don't know how people can tolerate those sugar substitutes, like they put in the diet drinks.
They're horrible. They're toxic.
Oh,
You're talking about like aspartame and sucralose and saccharine, which was taken off the market when I was a kid. They're toxic. It's actually, you're better off with a little bit of cane sugar than you are.
Yeah, I can't stand any sugar substitute. It makes me ill. And
now stevia is not that bad. Stevia is natural. It comes from a plant from Paraguay, Uruguay. It's an herb that the Indians down there use, and it has 0 calories and 0 glycemic index. It will not raise your blood sugar, but it does have a slight aftertaste, but it's a natural product.
Yeah, I've had it. It's less offensive than those others, but I still wouldn't want to have it now. But you're right, it is a little less grating. This one is okay, but like I said, I'm not into all this sugar rush stuff, you know.
Yeah, if I have to use sugar, I've been using organic coconut sugar from Trader Joe's. I get it. It's a lower glycemic form of sugar.
To be fair,
monk fruit, or the Chinese call lohan kuo. Yes, monk fruit is very good.
But to be fair to the product, I can't give a low score to that's super sweet when it's designed to be super sweet. If it's not for me, well, too bad for me, or in my case, good for me because I don't have to drink it. All right, but I'm gonna put Firefly. What is it called again? Pink lemonade. All right, Firefly pink.
It's called Poetry Fly.
I like looking at fireflies at night. Lemonade.
Yeah, that's the same as a lightning bug, or
Yeah. Firefly, lightning bugs. We used to call them both. I think we call them lightning bugs more around here, though.
You know, when I used to feel the belly when I was a little kid, I felt heat coming out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not heat where I went, wow. I let it go right away, but I did feel heat.
Man, we used to collect them and put them in a jar and make like a light.
I wanna find those predatory katydids. They look like a grasshopper on steroids, and they devour other insects. They just eat them live. Katydids, but they have a short lifespan, like a praying mantis, 1 year, and they're dead. Very short lifespan.
We got these loud cicadas around here.
Oh, the cicada, yeah, they're very loud.
And I got one hooked on the back of my porch right now. That they shed their skin, so I have the whole body hooked on the back of the porch. I can go get it if you want to see it, but I'm sure they got those up there where you live.
Hang it from your rear view mirror. I mean,
this old French guy I used to know in Louisiana, his last name, well, that's not important, but he would pronounce it. He wouldn't say cicada. He pronounced it cicada.
Cicada.
I saw a cicada.
We have a special cicada in France.
Yeah, that's what he called it, a cicada. And but anyway, promo time. I gave my scores, and then I'm gonna let you do yours. I gave them both an 87 out of 100. Good. I can't say very good, and I can't say excellent, but it could have something to do with me not loving to ingest massive amounts of sugar, So, I mean, a B is not a bad score, but I'm not in love with it. Okay, now as far as tomorrow morning, tomorrow at dawn, showdown at dawn. I've got two, and I know you're not into these white rums, and most they're used for mixing. I know,
Mixing.
but I have Don Q.
Famous company, yep.
Yeah, this is their Cristal, introduced in 1978.
That's a good pina colada rum. That's a good pina colada.
And I'll tell you one thing, though. These white rums, these silver rums, do not taste the same. When you start tasting them blind, they've got all kind of different, intricate little flavors. So don't sell them short. But that's been doing great. That rum has been doing a fantastic job in the taste challenges. Now it's going to go up against this lowly Kentucky-produced rum called Clubhouse.
Oh, gee.
And I'm pretty sure no clubhouse at a country club serves this, but they showed the country club in the pen and ink in the background. If you look at it carefully,
I bet if you called every single country club in the country and said, "Do you carry Clubhouse rum?" They would say,
premium quality.
Well,
you know what?
Well, is this a crank call?
They might have it down in the well. When you order just a pina colada, they might use the inexpensive rum when you're not looking. See, it's not a terrible. It's not a terrible. I'm sorry, what?
Who knows what they're pouring in there? I mean,
yeah, it's not a terrible label, but it looks like something from a food service company like Autocrat Foods or something that. It's so.
I don't think a lot of thought went into that label at all. I mean, a blue CH, uppercase letters. Wow.
But if you look real carefully in the background here, there is a pen and ink drawing of a clubhouse at a country club. One side has crossed fishing poles, fishing line, and the other side has crossed
golf clubs.
The drivers. So they've got a fancy clubhouse pen and ink drawing with the fishing poles and the drivers, the golf clubs. Well, anyway,
you know what clubhouse I went to in the Florida Keys when my aunt and uncle were still alive. They brought me to this clubhouse for a highfalutin lunch buffet at a yacht club. It was a yacht club, and all the men were dressed like Thurston Howell III, and they had a guy playing a grand piano, and I didn't feel comfortable, but it was by a marina. There was a marina there that I like. they're not, well, because I'm not into golf. I just don't see the logic of chasing a little white ball in hot weather, you know.
Well, it's fine, but I'm not interested in it. But I'm not against it. Now, oh, one more thing, and then I'm going to shut up. So that's my taste challenge tomorrow morning, and I have a feeling Don Q's going to run away with it. I went on that road trip yesterday I told you about, right? So when I got to the hotel last night in Texarkana, Arkansas, although when I pulled back out to get on the interstate this morning, I had to go to Texas to go back to Arkansas. And you know why. Because I had to get on the other side of the street to get on the interstate. So I was in Arkansas and I went to Texas and I went back to Arkansas in about 1 minute. But I was on the Arkansas side, and all the liquor stores are on the Arkansas side, which is telling me they must have better prices, right?
Yeah,
No,
or maybe they can be open on Sunday in one state.
no, you can't even sell beer in Arkansas on Sunday. No liquor at all on Sunday in Arkansas.
So they're really, it's a very
But
evangelical state.
yes, but if you drive straight up that state line road, there's one liquor store after the other, all on the Arkansas side, and no liquor stores on the Texas side. So I'm thinking to myself, there's got to be a difference,
State laws
Yeah.
be a difference.
So I went to the Arkansas liquor store, which was close to the hotel. I said, let me go walk over there and just look around. You never know what you'll find. Well, I did find something, and if you'd like to see it, I'll show it to you real fast.
Sure, no, I'll see it. Is it a petrified Sasquatch?
So I found this American blended whiskey. It's called Royale Club. Got all these clubs to it.
Another club. That club is better. I like that club.
More thought put into this label.
Yeah, it's got a coat of arms. It's got the crest. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
and even talks about it on the bottle. This is our coat of arms. Says it right there. We proudly display for your recognition our crest of excellence. Its presence is your assurance of a superior blended whiskey.
Wow.
A Grand Seigneur Royale Club is, and then it goes on and on talking about how awesome it is. You know what I mean? So anyway, I found that and I said, Royale Club. How about that? And I'm looking at the label and it's talking about they make it in Kentucky and in California, Los Angeles, California. And I'm looking at the top. There's a black writing on the gold, and it's so small. I almost needed a microscope to see it. It's so small. I've never seen print this small in my life.
Here it comes. It's
And
coming.
it says, we love to hear from our customers at Sazerac.com. I said, boy, these guys here.
Mr. Goldring, he should buy a professional sports team. He's got so much money. I mean,
yeah, his father was the big wig, William Goldring Sr. But then, of course, he died. And then they used to own the distributor and the distilleries. But the U.S. government made them sell the distributor because they said you can't own vertical integration. Like you can't have the distillery at the top, then the distributor at the bottom. If it was up to him, he'd probably own the distillery, the distributorship, and all the stores.
yeah, he would have a chain of Sazerac stores.
Right. And bars, Sazerac bars. All right. Now, that's the first thing I bought. Then I found this one with a crown. I don't know why it's got a crown on it because I know Kentucky is not a kingdom, but anyway, it's called Quality House. Crown on it.
Well, and there was a margarine called Imperial at one time.
Oh yeah, I still see that in the stores. I saw that.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. Blended whiskey with natural flavors. Probably got to add flavoring because the whiskey's maybe not so flavorful.
Yeah, bad whiskey has natural flavors in it.
Well, at least they're telling you they're adding the flavors, and it contains caramel color. It says on the bottle. So that's why.
There you go. Caramel.
Now, but maybe it tastes fine. I don't know. I said, what the heck? I never heard of it. I'll buy it.
Well,
Then the third one, you're gonna like this one. You're gonna like this. You're gonna like this. I saw this and I asked the girl how much, and she told me, and I said, I'll take it. Oh, get ready, boy.
oh, there you go. Now you got something good. And it's a Heaven Hill Kentucky Straight. And I never had the gold label, but it looks really
Yeah, you had the black and the green, right?
yeah, black and the green one, yeah.
So this is the gold label. It says is unexcelled in quality. Now, that's quite a statement.
Yeah, that means nobody's better.
Right. The finest ingredients, limestone water, master craftsman, patient aging of 36 months, 3 whole years.
Patient aging.
3 whole years.
Yeah, like they're standing there washing the barrels.
And it's genuine because, you know, you want to make sure it's not fake. But Heaven Hill is a family-owned distillery. And
so far, there still are. So far.
But boy, I'll tell you, I saw this, and it's a full-size bottle, and it's a nice-looking bottle. I gotta say, it's kind of Jack Daniels looking, but it's got its own style to it, its own style. And here's the big part. So I took your advice and bought it because you told me Heaven Hill was a good value.
Yeah. Yes.
So I got 2 blended whiskeys. One from Heaven Hill, because I know Heaven Hill makes Quality House, but they try to hide that fact. They also make Clubhouse, by the way, and one from our Empire of Sazerac. So these 3 bottles, 1, 2, 3, they cost me after tax. This is the price I'm giving you after the tax added.
After the tax.
$8.63 per bottle. $8.63 per bottle.
You always outdo yourself when it comes to bargain shopping or you are the bargain basement expert of the country. And
so I thought that was a great deal, you know.
I don't think you've matched this one. I think this is the best discounted purchase that you've ever made, right? I mean, $8
for straight bourbon.
Yeah, including the Heaven Hill and the other fly by nights that you got there. Yeah. You know, $8. I wouldn't personally. I wouldn't drink the one with the caramel color, but the Heaven Hill I would drink.
Well, James, you know, a lot of whiskey has caramel color added. Even expensive Scotch has caramel color added. They just don't tell you about it. A lot of Johnny Walkers, they add caramel coloring.
Really?
Yeah, because the problem. I'll tell you the reasoning. I'm not defending it, but I'm telling you why. When they do different batches, it'll have different. It'll be darker, lighter, pale, or whatever. And they don't want the people calling them all the time. Why is mine so light? Or this one's unusually dark. What's the problem? So they add a certain amount of coloring for consistency.
People will be squawking, you know, something's wrong with my whiskey. I paid top dollar for this bottle. Yeah, I hear you.
Straight bourbon,
uniform.
Yeah, uniform. But now straight bourbon, like I've got here with Heaven Hill, it cannot have any flavoring added or coloring added. So if you want to be safe and you're getting genuine, like it says on the bottle, sour mash. Oh, by the way, it's sour mash bourbon. Get straight bourbon because it legally cannot have coloring or flavoring added. Thank you very much.
Straight bourbon. Now that happens to be. Didn't it say Kentucky Straight on the label?
Yeah, it is straight bourbon.
But well, you said it's sour mash.
Straight bourbon.
Straight bourbon.
It's a sour mash straight bourbon.
Oh. Okay. Which means that what does it mean? The corn is already fermented, separate from
what happened was this guy, Dr. James Crow, he was a Scottish immigrant. He's the one that came up with Old Crow. He discovered and I think other people did too, that if you take some of the leftover mash from the previous batch,
Right.
that's already what they call sour, and you put it in the new concoction, it helps prime it, get it going.
Oh, there's already established yeasts present in the sour mash from the previous
Batch.
distillation, and then they just it kick starts or jump starts the new batch in the new barrel, not a new barrel, but in another barrel for the second
Fermentation.
fermentation
So that's what
process.
sour mash. That's what sour mash means. They're taking mash that's already been processed and putting it in the new raw.
It's like
You know,
it's like when I have to set up a new filter for the aquarium. You know, if I have to clean it for some reason, which I very rarely do, I always take a piece of the dirty filter fiber and place it in the filter, in the cleaned out filter, because there's
yeah.
aerobic bacteria that jump starts the whole nitrogen cycle. The whole process
Oh,
is jump
so
started.
it's the same. It's the same principle then.
Yeah, yeah. It's or if I make when I make kombucha, I pour a little bit of the real sour kombucha, just a little bit, into the new 1 gallon pitcher to jumpstart that yeast production, because the yeast is feeding off of the 1 cup of sugar that is in the tea. You have to use eight tea bags and 1 cup of sugar. So the yeast is coming from the organism, the SCOBY. But in addition to the SCOBY, I'll pour a little bit of really strong old kombucha, just a little pour, just to jumpstart the process. But it's all the same science.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's the answer. There's sour mash. Now that's what sour mash is. Straight bourbon means straight bourbon means it's at least 2 years old in a barrel, and they use new barrels. They're not allowed to use used barrels. Straight bourbon must be in new barrels, never before used. Okay.
Okay. 87% out of 100. As far as mixable rums, I'm not saying that other people might feel that a very light rum is for them.
Yeah.
They might think very highly of it. But for me, being that I like the dark, syrupy molasses or the extra aged rum, and I've seen rums close to $100 in the liquor store. Okay, I have no idea what goes into it, but I'm imagining it's aged extra long. But I like the darker aged rums. So 87% out of 100.
So we're all at 87 tonight. B, good but not great.
Yeah. Well, if you're gonna drink a rum neat, you pick a really good one. Make sure it's a good añejo that's up there in years. The same thing goes for tequilas, right? Some tequilas are very expensive.
Oh yeah, hundreds of dollars, some of them, but I won't be drinking them.
No, not me either. I mean, the snobs will get them so they can go around and brag and say, tell you what they paid for it. But anyway,
there's a Jose Cuervo at the liquor store for $400.
Oh wow!
But it's aged but it's like 50 years aged.
Yeah, but But is it really that much better to warrant the price?
I don't know. I'd have to try it because I tried the Johnny Walker Blue Label and I paid $226 plus tax. Is it that much better? No. It's
Now,
better. It's
yeah,
better. It's better. It's better, but it's not that much better.
I highly doubt if there's an airline bottle of that particular tequila.
I'm pretty sure there is not.
Yeah, for $400 for the large bottle, I don't think there's an airline bottle. But anyway, promos. I'm going live this Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. But there's a certain someone, I won't mention any names. Not in this case because I like the guy very much. And but if I didn't like him, then forget it. I'll mention names like to forever. But he has a tendency not to allow for a free, uh, open exchange of ideas and opinions. In other words, he's a bit of a dominatrix. He takes over the show. Doesn't allow, if you have a difference of opinion, doesn't allow you to speak. And for that reason, he can come on at 4 p.m. after I'm done with all the serious topics, the political talk. I mean, there are others that can come on at 3 because they don't start shouting and saying, "Oh no, that's wrong, that's wrong." No. They don't try to drown out whatever the video is saying, whatever I'm saying.
It's all about common courtesy, really.
Yeah. And the person, from what I was told, has been known to drink in excess, even though he's a hell of a nice guy and he's very talented. But maybe people that do drink in excess get very obnoxious and stubborn and set in
Yeah.
their ways. Where it's their way or the highway. So that's the best way I can put it. You have to. In other words, if you disagree,
Fine.
you have your time to explain yourself uninterrupted after the subject is presented, and then you could talk. But if a person insists that there's scientific evidence to support what they're saying, and there is no scientific evidence to prove it, and they just say it because they want to win
Yeah.
the debate. It's not about an intelligent discussion about the topic. It's about winning. It's about ego. So once it gets like into that,
Yeah.
then they can come on at 4 when I'm done, and then they won't have to interrupt anything that I present. So that's it. In layman's terms, that's the situation.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, that's this.
Well, folks, thanks for joining, everybody. And we have Stout Sunday coming up Sunday, and Johnny Neely might be hosting it because they get a little calmer. So I was filling in for him, but I don't fill in for somebody and then refuse to give it back. I'm a fill in. So when he wants it back, it's his. After all, he created it.
Yeah, well, you're like the best of Carson. Johnny used to have a guest host come in on Monday. You're the guest host for South Sunday.
Right.
Like
And
Alex takes over sometimes. South
Yeah.
Sunday, Wild Card Wednesday.
And I told Johnny Neely, I said, now if you ever make me angry, then all of a sudden you'll notice at the same time you're doing your hangout, there'll be a Porter Sunday. I'm just kidding.
So
right, but
my hunch was correct. When you're doing the show and somebody all of a sudden chooses your time slot to do their show instead of like being on your show, that means they're trying to push your buttons.
well, I mean, it's something's kind of screwed up with that because it's like there's 24 hours each day, and there's 7 days a week. That's a lot of hours to choose from, and you just happen to only be able to do it at the same time. I mean, come on.
Porter, Stout Sunday, Porter Sunday.
Yeah. Oh, basic training. I don't think he's. Yeah, it's sabotage. You know,
It's
you're
Sabatucci.
scheming on a you're scheming on a thing, and that's a mirage. I'm telling you all, it's sabotage. Now,
They're trying to
uh,
take attention away from your show by dividing it up, by splitting it up.
divide and conquer. Now, well, that's it. Next Wednesday, this next Wednesday coming up next week, the next Wednesday that arrives is going to be a very exciting Wednesday because it's going to be Taylor Dessert Wines, and I went and bought 2 bottles. I got Taylor. What's that one called? Madeira, I think. Madeira. I got that for $4.99, which was a fabulous deal. And then I got this other bottle, a bottle and a half size, and it was I think $10.99, and that's the Taylor Cream Sherry, which is always a winner.
And the 27th of July will be any dessert wine. Wednesday, the 27th of July.
So I got 2 wines. They're both from Taylor, but they will both work because Taylor will fit for Taylor, and the other one will fit for any dessert wine. And
You're
then
right.
do you think you'll be able to join?
Both. Yeah, the
Oh,
20th.
wait, I'm confused. This
No, I
no,
have a
right.
product.
That's
I
right. That's right.
I
Let me
have,
look at my calendar.
I have a product for for the 20th, and I have a product for the 27th.
That's right. Tail and then dessert wines. That's right.
Right.
And then the next Wednesday, August the 3rd, is Joker's Wild Wednesday.
Oh, okay. So the Wednesday after the 27th will be back to Joker's Wild.
Wow.
So therefore, ipso facto ergo, whatever, I will be able to attend all three.
August 10th is Miller High Life. I know you're not interested in
Nah,
this.
I'm not showing up.
August 17th is Red's Wicked Ale. It's another mass-produced apple ale. But some people might be interested in it. And it was a South African company, Reds, but they got bought out by Miller. And so that's the end of that. It's a macro.
South African company, but what is it? A sorghum beer?
No, it was called Reds Apple Ale Company, and they started in South Africa in 1996, and they made apple flavored beers.
Because I know sorghum beer is popular in the dry regions of South Africa.
But they got bought out because it was just they said, oh yeah, we want that. Okay, and then but at the end of August, the 24th, well, not the very end, but nearing the end of August on the 24th, you might be interested in joining us for Foster's Lager.
Okay, that's
Australian originated beer.
Yeah, Foster's Lager. I had back in the early 1990s. The big huge can. When Paul Hogan used to go, Crocodile Dundee used to advertise for them. It's Australian for beer, mate. And yeah, it was good. I liked it.
Of course, we get the one made in Texas, but anyway.
Egyptian beer, that's the original formula for beer. I think they were the first. The
first people we know of that made beer, and they still make beer in Egypt today, but we don't get it over here. And they still produce beer in Ethiopia. I was looking at the company's website. It was very interesting, and they're very proud in Ethiopia. They're so proud of this beer. They're like, we love our beer. We make the best beer.
There's an ancient grain from Ethiopia called teff, Teff. It looks like it looks like a tiny little dot of the seeds are so minute, so tiny, and it's like a dark brown color. Yeah, I wonder if they use that.
I don't know, but the Ethiopian beer looked good, but it's just regular beer, But
Uh,
it's Ethiopian. I would like to see one of the beer snobs go over there and start telling them your beer is terrible. I don't think they would take it too well in Ethiopia.
no, they'll probably put them in a cauldron and make stew out of them.
But
Yeah, everybody makes beer. Everybody except every continent except Antarctica. I
yeah, they don't make anything. Hey, one more thing, and we're going to get off the air. We've been on a long time. Even the country of Pakistan, where it's illegal to have any alcoholic beverage whatsoever, still produces a beer brand that they export, but we can't get it here in the United States. They've been making it since the days of the British Empire when they ruled India. There's a beer that's produced in Pakistan, but they don't have a website and the government doesn't talk about it. But they don't mind getting the tax receipts for it. So it's still made, and it's a big company.
Who
But
knows? Maybe the Saudis have a beer too.
no, they don't. But I was talking to a guy from Pakistan, and I was saying he was from one of the Indian states that's all Muslim, where liquor's outlawed. I said, it's too bad y'all can't get any alcoholic beverages in your area. He said, oh, we can. He said, we can't do it legally, but we can. He said, I know who all the right people, and then you go talk to them and you get whatever you want. He said, everybody knows about it.
It's not something that's publicly sold. It's you have to go in the back of the store. You got to go through the rear
He said,
entrance.
everybody knows where to get it. Everybody.
Yeah, behind the curtain. Don't pay attention to that man behind the curtain.
Yeah, Murray. Yeah, Murray's. Yeah, Murray's. Yeah.
Murray's.
That's the name of it. All right. Well, James is going to close out with a musical accompaniment, and we'll see y'all next Friday for Fandango Friday.
Take care. Have a lovely, hazy, hot, humid, sultry summer. I'm going to have big, long Patsy's Italian sausage with parsley and cheese inside, and home fried potatoes, which I already fried.